On the call here tonight, let's send it out to our guys in the booth. That's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
All right, here we go.
Carr now on first down. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. That goes for a gain of 31. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
Now Carr throwing on second down. Dumps it off to Gurley. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Fresh set of downs here.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And now a peek at the starters on the defensive side. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Now Carr again. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. And here we go on first and goal. On the handoff, it's Gurley. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out?
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Sean Robinson in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. To throw his Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick here is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. but they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. First carry for Amir Abdullah. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
So it is 3rd down now, but less than a yard to go. In motion left, White.
Watch it now, Barney! Detroit!
On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier, knock him down for a loss.
Shift together here from the D-line. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So out come the Falcons now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. This one caught left side by Cooper. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained. Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting it off.
Just ran right through the trash.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2. Again, they run with Gurley. And he's got room. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. That is caught at the 7. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver?
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Todd Gurley taking it in. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They start the drive with Abdullah. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a first down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
And now, is it 4th down? No, it's 3rd down. And the field goal unit is out onto the field. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. But they've got a 3rd and inches coming up, trying to keep the chains moving. It's a quarterback sneak. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
As we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56. All right, now, look at 56.
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Pardon the into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have. If you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
And this offensive unit, they have to face a 3rd down and 12 now.
Hurry up, here we go. Detroit! Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. Are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The one running back is Gurley.
All right, here we go. Come on, baby.
He's going to get the football. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Throwing now is Carr. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Yards on the punt there. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer.
Amir Abdullah. And down inside the 10 at the 9. A big play there for Detroit. 75 yards. Well, a nice little sprint there. I guess if you're the defense, the only thing you hold on to, you got him out of bounds, but it's 1st and goal.
And that's all you can hold on to because they didn't hold on to him very well on that run. He gives them 1st and goal, as you outlined, with a big-time play.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the game there. 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. He'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
To throw, it's Carr. Cooper's got it. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Big boys down there in the trenches and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Carr to throw on second down. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions, even when you're taking some hits. Sometimes you have to be your own blitz.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And this is scoop. And nothing but daylight ahead. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Robert Quinn in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with third down coming up. A dime look defensively for the Lions on third. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Carr now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. His throw incomplete.
My high school coach John Ford used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Completes it right side to Cooper. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Falcons have taken the lead. A try here for the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Aaron Lynch in there to drop him. And he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down.
Here we go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They try right side here, Gurley. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Carr, he'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
So the D-line's going to spread out. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. A dump off for Abdullah. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And quickly, they get to the line. On 3rd down, Abdullah. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Stays on his feet. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Stiff-armed him. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
It's a pickup of 14 there, and it'll be first down Atlanta.
And sometimes when you're watching a game, you can actually see drills in effect during a ball game. And what I saw there is what running backs call the gauntlet drill. We have to go through a series of defenders. We're going to hit them, poke at the football, make them bounce, spin, dig for extra yardage, the whole deal. And we saw it there. His running backs coach, he's got to be awfully proud of that run.
Now Carr throwing on second down. And his throw is incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Into the red zone, it's Carr. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver, his second touchdown of the night. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Second down now after the pass completion. One receiver left, 3 to the right. Shift together here from the D-line. A second down run for Abdullah. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
They're going to look to throw. He completes it to Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Here we go now. Good.
Halfback sent in motion.
Detroit!
They're going to try and throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Amari Cooper, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Well, the defense did their job, and then, boom, a one-play drive. The offense does their job pretty well, too.
Is that called rewarding them and thanking them for what they did? They went right out and put points on the board. Thank you so much for getting us the football.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
No. Check. Patriot.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Collins. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first one.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They go play action here on first down. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a handoff for Gurley. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football?
They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Todd Gurley with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Todd Gurley punching it in from a yard away. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing.
Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Well, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goalpost
that's right.
before you drop the ball.
That.
There you go.
So here come the Lions now.
All right, now look at 56.
They'll come out in the pistol. And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And he powers his way up past the 30. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well. We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his target, Fuller. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Aaron Lynch in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Lynch in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking deep downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They come up in an offset eye. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And some room to maneuver. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now they'll throw with Carr. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
But that certainly felt like an example of the defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Seven yards to go on 2nd down. They run with Abdullah. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game. Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Set, 3 and
try it here. He's back to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. You know, some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. Here's Carr. And this is caught. It's Cooper. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over. Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And Detroit getting set to go now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again. Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him. Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this